Every day, you wake up and reach for your phone. You scroll, you click, you watch. It feels like a free choice, but something much larger is happening in the background, and it involves billions of dollars, some of the most sophisticated technology ever built, and a resource you never knew you had. Welcome to the Thinking Economist. Economics is, at its core, the study of scarce resources. A resource is scarce when there is less of it available than people want. Land is scarce. Oil is scarce. Gold is scarce. And because these things are scarce, they have value. Markets form around them. Companies compete for them. Fortunes are built on controlling them. For most of economic history, valuable resources were physical. But in the digital age, a new resource emerged, one that economists had not historically thought of as a tradable commodity. That resource is human attention. Think about what attention means in economic terms. Every person on Earth has exactly 24 hours per day, not 1 minute more. A billionaire and someone with nothing share the same daily allocation of time, and within those 24 hours, the amount of genuine focused attention a person can give is even more limited. You cannot manufacture more of it. You cannot import it. You cannot buy extra hours. At the same time, consider what is competing for that attention. Billions of websites, hundreds of millions of videos, millions of apps, an effectively infinite supply of content, entertainment, news, and games, all fighting for a piece of your limited time. When unlimited supply competes for strictly limited demand, the scarce thing becomes extraordinarily valuable. In this case, the scarce thing is your attention, and that scarcity is the foundation of one of the largest industries ever created. So how does attention become money? Attention itself is not revenue. The conversion happens through advertising. A platform captures your attention. While you are engaged, it shows you advertisements. Advertisers pay for access to that attention. The more attention a platform captures, the more advertising it can sell, and the more money it makes. This model is not new. Television, newspapers, and radio figured it out long before the internet existed. What is new is the precision and scale with which digital platforms execute it. A television network could tell an advertiser roughly how many people watched a program. That was useful, but crude. Digital platforms changed everything. Every search you run, every video you watch, every link you click is recorded and used to build a detailed profile of who you are and what you care about. Advertisers can then target you with extraordinary precision. A company selling running shoes can show its ads specifically to people researching marathon training. A university can target students in their final year of school. This precision makes advertising dramatically more effective. And more effective advertising commands higher prices. The more data a platform has, the more it can charge, and the more revenue it generates. But the entire model depends on one thing above everything else: you actually being there. The moment you close the app, the revenue stops. So the single most important economic objective for any platform in the attention economy is to maximize the time you spend on it. Engagement, measured in minutes and hours, is the core metric that drives everything. This is where economics connects to psychology. Human beings did not evolve in a world of infinite content. Our brains developed powerful responses to specific stimuli, things our ancestors needed to notice quickly to survive. We pay attention to novelty because new things could represent opportunity or danger. We pay attention to social information, what others are doing and thinking, because our survival historically depended on our position within a group. We pay attention to conflict and controversy because ignoring danger was far more costly than ignoring something pleasant. We pay attention to the possibility of rewards because our brains are wired to pursue positive outcomes. These are not weaknesses. They served our species extraordinarily well for hundreds of thousands of years. But they also mean our attention is reliably drawn towards certain kinds of content. Technology companies know this. They have studied it, tested it, and built their platforms around it. Every element of a modern social media platform is designed with a precise understanding of human psychology. The infinite scroll removes a natural stopping point. When you reach the end of a page, your brain registers completion and has a natural opportunity to disengage. Infinite scroll eliminates that. There is always more. The decision to stop has to be actively made rather than naturally arriving. Notifications work on the principle of unpredictable rewards. Sometimes a notification is genuinely interesting. Sometimes it is not. But because you never know which it will be until you check, your brain learns to respond with anticipation. Over time, checking becomes a habit, and habits operate below the level of conscious decision-making. Recommendation algorithms study what you have engaged with and predict what you are most likely to engage with next. They are optimized not for your well-being or for accuracy of information, but for engagement. And because emotionally provocative content reliably generates more engagement than calm, balanced content, algorithms have a structural tendency to surface more of it. None of this requires anyone at these companies to be consciously malicious. It is simply the logical outcome of economic incentives. If your revenue depends on engagement, you optimize for engagement. The system produces these outcomes not because anyone designed them to be harmful, but because the economic incentive points in that direction. Now here is where the story becomes even more significant. The rise of artificial intelligence is fundamentally changing the supply side of this market and making human attention even more valuable than it already was. For most of history, creating content required significant time, skill, and effort. Writing a compelling article took hours. Producing a video required equipment and expertise. These constraints naturally limited the supply of content competing for attention. AI is dismantling those constraints. AI can generate articles in seconds, produce images in moments, create music, write scripts, and edit video at a speed and cost that was unimaginable 5 years ago. The supply of content is not just growing, it is exploding. But human attention remains completely fixed. People still have 24 hours per day. There are no more hours available than before. In economics, when supply increases while demand stays fixed, the price of the supply falls. Content itself is becoming less scarce and less individually valuable. But the attention required to consume it remains strictly limited, which means attention becomes scarcer relative to the content competing for it. And when something becomes scarcer relative to demand, its value rises. The competition for your time and focus is going to intensify significantly as AI-generated content floods every platform. The platforms that capture attention most effectively will accumulate enormous economic power. And the individuals who understand this dynamic will be in a very different position from those who do not. The global digital advertising market, the industry built on converting attention into revenue, is worth well over $500 billion annually. The largest technology companies in the world derive the overwhelming majority of their revenue from this single mechanism. These are among the largest concentrations of economic value in human history, built not on physical resources, not on manufacturing, not on products people pay for directly, but on the systematic capture and monetization of human attention at global scale. This raises a question worth sitting with. In a traditional market, when you sell something, you know you are selling it. You receive payment. You understand the transaction. The attention economy operates differently. Most people using these platforms do not think of themselves as participants in an economic exchange. They think of themselves as users of a free service. But they are not simply users. They are suppliers. Every minute you spend on a platform, you are supplying the resource the platform's entire business model depends on. Your attention is the raw material being processed and sold. Understanding this does not mean concluding that the system is wrong. It has brought enormous amounts of free information and connection to billions of people. But it does mean being an informed participant rather than an unconscious one. It means recognizing that When you feel the pull to keep scrolling, that pull is not accidental. It is the product of billions of dollars of investment in understanding human psychology. And it means recognizing that you have more agency over how you allocate your attention than the design of these platforms would suggest. Every time you open an app, scroll through a feed, or click a headline, you are participating in one of the largest markets ever created. The companies competing for your attention understand its value with extraordinary precision. The question is whether you do too. If this video changed how you think about the economy around you, there is a video on this channel that connects directly to what you just learned. We talked about how AI is making attention scarcer and more valuable. But what does AI actually mean for your career and your income? Watch our video on whether AI will really take your job. It picks up exactly where this one leaves off, and the answer might surprise you. The link is on screen now. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to The Thinking Economist. And feel free to share any questions, feedback, or topic suggestions in the comments section. We'll see you in the next one.